In this unit, we're going to be looking at topics related to earning an income. In this lesson, we're going to look at what it means to work overtime.
All right. Hi, everybody. So, like we said, in this lesson, we're going to take a look at overtime. Okay, and what happens when you work more than you would normally in a week. So, like it says right here, there are regulations in place to prevent workers from being overworked or from being, used by the employers here. So, most jobs will pay overtime for hours that go beyond the regular work hours. And generally that is about 8 hours in a day. So that amounts to about 40 or let's say 40 to 50 hours in a week, kind of whatever's agreed upon there. There's your regular work week. Okay, so there was some variation there. And then it's typically a percentage of the regular pay that's added to the regular pay. Okay, so you get a fraction more than you normally would. So, and here are some common phrases that you use. Here you might talk about time and a half, which is you would multiply your pay by 1.5. Double time, which would multiply your pay by 2. Or a double time and a half, you're multiplying by 2.5, which would be fantastic. Okay, so here we go. Here's how we're going to calculate this. We'll leave it up like this so you can see everything. First of all, you determine how many hours are regular hours and how many are overtime hours. So you got to know kind of what the agreed upon regular work hours are for that week. Then, using the regular hourly wage, you calculate how much you earned for the regular hours. So you multiply the number of hours you worked in the regular time. That once you've kind of used up all that time, we're going to figure out how much you're going to get paid for that. Then we're going to figure out with the overtime hours what's left over. We're going to multiply that by your wage and that multiplication factor, whatever that's agreed to. So using the overtime wage, we're going to calculate that. We're going to multiply that out for the overtime hours, then we're going to add the two totals together. And so, again, just remember how this works. When you're trying to figure out overtime, typically it's going to be time and a half, so you'd multiply your wage by 1.5. Double time means you're going to multiply by 2. Double time and a half, you're going to multiply by 2.5. Okay, so let's take a look at some examples and see how this actually works here. Okay, so let's take a look at some examples here. So this first one, we have written out, so it's kind of done for us, and then we'll work through some of the other ones together here. So this one says, last week you worked 63 hours, and you received time and a half for any hours worked over 44 hours. So what would be your gross income if your regular pay was $31.75 per hour? Okay, well, for 63 hours, and 44 hours of which are considered regular time here, okay, then what we got to do here is we're going to take those 44 hours, we're going to multiply by 31.75, okay, and we're going to get that's $1,397. Okay, so that's how much we would get paid regular time here. Our overtime hours, though, we're going to get that, okay, by going 63 minus the 44. Okay, so 63 minus 44 is going to give us 19. So there are 19 overtime hours here. Now, you're just not seeing that. It is down here. It's mentioned down here. But the overtime wage is going to be $31.75 multiplied by that multiplication factor there, that kind of growth factor there, 1.5. Okay, because we're getting 1.5 times what we would normally get paid. So we're getting paid $47.63 per hour now. So then we multiply those two together. So for overtime, we're getting $904.97, right? So we're getting just under $1,000 there. Putting those together, okay, adding them up here, we get $2,301.97. So that overtime pay, that made quite a difference. Let's take a look at another one here. This one here is just about getting these factors correct. So we're going to determine the overtime wage for the following. So let's say you got $15.50 regular time, so per hour here, but we get time and a half for overtime. So what's our overtime wage? Well, that's going to be $15.50 multiplied by 1.5. Okay, so on my calculator, $15.50 times 1.5, and we're going to get $23.25 per hour. $18.25 regular time, but we're going to get double time for overtime here. So we're going to take that $18.25, and this time we're just going to multiply by 2. So $18.25 multiplied by 2 and we get $36.40 an hour. Okay, that's kind of nice. And then over here, at $31 an hour, regular time, and we're going to get time and a half. Sorry, double time and a half, my mistake. Double time and a half. So we get 31, and we're going to multiply that by 2.5, which means, we're going to get $77.50 an hour. Okay, that's wonderful. Now let's take a look at some more questions here that deal with actually figuring out how much money you're going to make here. So here we go. For our next question here. Juno works in a city and is very busy during the summer. Her regular hourly wage is $20.80 per hour, and she's paid time and a half for any overtime hours. So what will her total earnings be if she worked 80 regular hours and 15 overtime hours in a 2-week period? Okay, so what we're going to do here, just like we did in a previous question, we're going to look at regular, and then we're going to look at overtime. And then we're going to come up with a total here in a second. So we know that she worked 80 regular time hours. So it's going to be $80 multiplied by $20.80 per hour. Okay, so we pull out the calculator here. So it's going to be 80 multiplied by $20.80. So just for her regular pay alone, she's going to get $1,664. Now, we want to figure out, first of all, how much her wage is going to be when she works overtime, and she's getting time and a half. So that's going to be $20.80 multiplied by 1.5. There's my time and a half. So let's figure out how much that's going to be for her. So 20.8 times 1.5. Okay, so she's going to make overtime. She's going to make $31.20. And we know that she worked 15 hours multiplied by $31.20. So now that I've got that in my calculator, if I just press multiply right now, it knows to take that number up here and pull that down. So we're going to go $31.20. There's my answer multiplied by 15. Ooh, and we're going to get $468. So now our total will be the regular pay plus the overtime. Okay, so our total is going to equal $1,664 plus $468. Okay, so $1,664 plus $468. Juno is going to make $2,132 for those 2 weeks of work. Kyle has a paving company, and he pays his workers $25.15 an hour and double time for any hours worked over 42 hours in a week. So how much will he have to pay an employee who works 45 hours? Well, again, there is the regular, and then there is the overtime. Now, the regular work week is 42 hours, so it's going to be 42 hours multiplied by $25.15 per hour. So let's just figure out what their regular pay would be. 15. So 42 hours multiplied by $25.15. Okay, so someone would get $1,056.30, okay, for working a regular 42-hour week. Now with their overtime, now in this case here, because the overtime, the employee worked 45 hours, they've only got 3 hours of overtime. Still, though, we want to figure out what their overtime pay is. And so we know it's going to be $25.15. This time it's double time, so multiplied by 2. And when we do that, we're going to get $50.30 per hour, that's pretty good. So now we'll take the number of hours worked, the 3 hours, multiplied by $50.30. And so that's going to be $150.90, okay, for the overtime work that they're going to do. So now our total will be the regular pay plus the overtime. So our total is going to equal our $1,056.30. And we're going to add to that our $150.90. I'll just do this off on the side here, my calculator, because I don't want to do that wrong. And we're going to get $1,207.20. Now that's if the employee works 45 hours. What if the employee works 50 hours? Well, okay. First of all, we've got to look at their regular pay, but we already know what their regular pay is going to be. It's going to be $1,056.30. We've already made that calculation here. The difference here is that our overtime, okay, if the employee is working 50 hours, but their regular work week is 42 hours, that means they went 8 hours over. We have already figured out what the pay is, okay, for overtime hour. It's going to be $50.30. So this is going to be 8 multiplied by 50, 30. Okay, so 50.3 multiplied by 8 will be $402.40. And so now our total, okay, will be the regular plus the overtime. And so it will be, our total is going to be $1,056.30 plus the $402.40. That is just a little bit of calculator work. We get $1,458.70. Okay, that's a good one. Double time is great. I mean, double time and a half is even better. I mean, I've also heard of people that would get triple time in some situations here. So, I mean, there's always these benefits. Okay, you just got to go figure out what they are for the places you're going to work at. Sam earns $17.20 per hour and earns time and a half for hours worked over 40 hours. Alicia earns $18.05 per hour and earns double time for hours worked over 45 hours. So who will earn more if they each worked 48 hours? Okay, well, let's just cut this in half here. So we'll take a look at Sam, and then we'll take a look at Alicia. So first of all, Sam, they both worked 48 hours. So Sam has got 40 regular, and then he would have 8 overtime. Okay, he is getting $17.20 per hour, and then he's getting $17.20 per hour multiplied by 1.5. So let's just do that. So 17.20 multiplied by 1.5. So he's actually going to get $25.80 per overtime hour. So now here we go. So the total amount he's going to get paid here is going to be, first of all, 40 times 17.20. Okay, so 40 times 17.20. So he's going to get paid $688 regular. And then he's going to have $8 times, sorry, $8, yikes, 8 hours times 25.8. Okay, that's his overtime pay. He's going to get an additional $206.40. And now, if we add those up, okay, now remember, the answer here is going to refer to the number that I just came up with. If I add those up, okay, he's going to get $894.40. Now, for Alicia, okay, her regular work week is 45 hours, which means she worked 3 hours overtime. She's getting $18.05 per hour regular, but she gets double time, so she's going to get $18.05 per hour. We're going to multiply that by 2.0. Okay, and 18.05 multiplied by 2 is going to be $36.10 per overtime hour. So her total will be, well, let's figure that out here. That's going to be 45 multiplied by $18.05. So $812.25, that's the regular pay. And then it'll be $36.10 multiplied by the 3 hours of overtime she gets. And now, if we add those two values together, she gets $920.55. So even though she got less overtime in terms of the overtime hours, she's getting more per hour, and that double time there works largely in her benefit there. So there you go. So Alicia makes more.